Good evening, and welcome to episode 49 of Nicola Valley Talk, a podcast provided by Tourism Nicola Valley, Experience Nicola Valley, and Experience Merit. Nicola Valley Talk is broadcast live every Thursday at 7 p.m. from Merritt, British Columbia, Canada. Nicola Valley Talk is part of the 2021 National and Provincial Award-winning Experience Nicola Valley program for Best Marketing Program of the Year. My name is Melvina White. I'm your country lifestyle blogger with Experience Nicola Valley and your host tonight on Nicola Valley Talk. Working the control room is our famous eco-blogger, Tanya Stewart. Tonight, we're going to talk with Miss Tourism World Canada, Samantha Sewell. Samantha will share with us her thoughts on the importance of small town tourism, her upcoming pageant, and her upcoming visit to the Nicola Valley to meet and greet with some of our tourism industry. Let us welcome our special guest tonight, Samantha Sewell, Miss Tourism World Canada. Welcome to the show, Samantha.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start out with, would you mind taking a minute and just introduce yourself and share a little bit about who is Miss Tourism World Canada 2021?
Of course. So I'm Samantha Sewell. I'm a 23-year-old preschool speaker and motivational speaker, preschool teacher and motivational speaker from Vernon, British Columbia. I have traveled to 2 different countries, Canada and the United States, speaking on topics such as inclusion for all, anti-bullying, as well as Apraxia awareness. Being an individual with a speech impediment, I was never supposed to be able to graduate on my own or be successful according to professionals. However, I've pushed myself to overcome those barriers. I've now been published in an international book, as well as over 38 different magazines. I am also the winner of a Global Change Leader Award, and I've held over 6 national titles. And I'm the reigning Miss Tourism World Canada, so I'll be headed to Miss Tourism World this November, depending on COVID, to represent Canada on the international stage and to bring awareness to inclusive tourism.
Wow, what a resume you have there. According to your website, you've been winning pageants since 2015, starting with Miss Teenage Okanagan and including Miss Worldwide Teen Canada in 2017. And recently, Miss Royalty International 2020, and now in 2021, you're crowned Miss Tourism World Canada. Can you share with us the platform you will be running on for the Miss Tourism World Canada pageant?
So the Miss Tourism World organization crowns each national girl as the tourism ambassador for the country. So I am kind of running with 2 platforms for Miss Tourism World. The first one being that tourism ambassador for Canada. However, due to COVID-19, I can't really travel all over Canada due to travel restrictions. So I'm focusing on a weekly video post called Supporting Local Tourism, educating individuals how you can support the local tourism industry right here at home. In fact, right now is the best time to do it because there's less crowds and they're focused on the local individuals. So I'm showing people all of the local things you can do. My other platform I'm focusing heavy on is inclusive tourism. Being someone with a speech impediment, I have experienced firsthand the struggle of communicating in airports, trains, bus depots, you name it. When I was in high school, I ended up traveling alone to a youth conference in Ottawa, and my gate got switched. I went to about 3 different staff members trying to communicate where gate was for number 40. The 4s and OUR sounds are really hard for people with apraxia, especially me. It's very hard for me. So these people, they working in the airport, did not know how to communicate with me. I wasn't able to use sign language because they weren't aware of sign language. So when I got home, I did research and I was able to find out that a lot of individuals in the sign language community, whether they are deaf, mute, or have communication disorders, they are struggling in the airports, in these bus depots, wherever they are to travel to the destination. They're struggling to be able to communicate and to be able to understand. what is happening. And if there's an emergency or if their gate changes or even if their flight's canceled, a lot of times it's really hard to get that information without verbal or if you're unable to communicate it. This has happened several times to me. It even happened just recently, about 2 years ago when I was traveling with my mother. I was trying to communicate something and she actually had to come and help translate for me because the person was unable to understand my words. So this is a real struggle in our industry, and I really want to support inclusive tourism. And my overall goal is to get captions in each and every airport in British Columbia to start and eventually worldwide. If I were to win Miss Tourism World, I would be taking it to the major airports such as Heathrow and Toronto and Chicago, New York, all these major airports. I want to at least have captioning there so individuals can read and understand. However, the overall goal would be to have people knowing at least the basics of American Sign Language so they can communicate with people who need that.
Wow, that's ambitious. And there's no doubt that I'm sure that you'll succeed at that.
Thank you.
We have a couple of comments. Greg Gerard says, hello, Samantha, Miss World Tourism Canada. Experience Nicola Valley says, such an inspiration, Samantha. And yeah. You are an award-winning motivational speaker, a pageant queen, and a model. You've spoken in 2 countries, 6 USA states, and 4 Canadian provinces. My question is, what life lessons has your travels taught you?
I think the most important life lesson that my travels have taught me is to be grateful for what I have. I think the most difficult thing to ever see was when I traveled to Chicago, Illinois for Chicago Fashion Week in 2017, I believe it was. And it was very different there. There was whole families on the streets. There was people who were alone, who were scared and unable to get help. So ever since I was there, I think the most important thing I've learned is that I am grateful for where I am in my life. I'm grateful for my friends, my family, my food, my water, everything. There's so much to be grateful for, and witnessing that firsthand in Chicago was heart-wrenching, and it really was an eye-opener for me.
Wow. What have your travels taught you about the tourism industry in preparation for Miss Tourism World Canada?
Going back to my platform, the travels have really taught me where the difference between states and provinces and how the inclusivity of the airports can really vary from place to place. I have been in locations where it's fully inclusive, where even the taxis have closed captioning and have different language services and translation services. And then I've been in places where you can barely hear the person on the other side of the taxi, or there's no maps or no electronics, and it's very difficult to travel. So I think it's really diverse, and it's really taught me how you really have to be able to adapt to the situation, because even first world countries can change from state to state or even city to city. It can be so different and so, yeah, just different.
Do you find that, that a lot of the tourism, I guess, like the airports and whatnot, are lacking in communication and for disabled people, like different things for disabled people?
I feel like they really are lacking for individuals with disabilities. If you go to a major airport, for instance, you usually have to go on average at least 10 gates to get to an elevator. However, there's an escalator every 5 gates. So for people in wheelchairs, it's a big challenge. For people who with communication disabilities, there's a severe lack in the ability to communicate and to be able to go and ask an individual. There's currently, in the majority of airports I've been in, there's no closed captioning services. The only one I've noticed with closed captioning services was New York City. But I've been to Seattle, I've been to Chicago, all these major airports, and there's no translation, there's no caption services available. The majority of airports, they don't even make it mandatory for the staff to know the basics of American Sign Language. So if you were to go and travel being a deaf individual, you would be unable to sign and ask for help. You'd have to resort to either writing it or typing it. And in the COVID era, that is extremely difficult, and there's been even more challenges because you don't want to touch someone else's phone and you can't pass a pen back and forth to communicate. So it offers even more challenges right now. The mask wearing also causes a lot of issues, as airports are not making it mandatory to have clear masks. So individuals who rely on, say, lip reading are unable to lip read right now. So there's a huge lack of communication accessibility in airports and the different travel ports.
And I would say that from just what you're saying, there's a lack of understanding
For sure.
With the public and with the airports and different areas. You were scheduled to visit us in May, but COVID had something to say about that. On June 15th, we learned about the new travel restrictions for this summer, and then we hope to reschedule a new date for you to come and meet and greet with our tourism businesses. We have talked about that a little bit, and hopefully we can announce that within the next day or two, the date that you will be coming. What do you hope to accomplish and learn on your visit to the Nicola Valley?
Well, I hope to accomplish a understanding with the individuals there in the tourism industry about differences, and individuals with, say, communication disorders like myself being able to travel and being acceptive and inclusive of that. I hope to learn about what they're currently doing to support local tourism as well as to support individuals with disabilities. I hope to educate individuals on the importance of, say, clear face masks, especially right now when masks are mandatory inside buildings, as well as the importance of different applications such as speak to text, where you can speak into a phone and it shows the text, as well as, of course, just showing people the importance of just being acceptive, of just being understanding that someone may take longer to speak, may take longer to communicate, may slur their words, may sound completely different, and how we can be acceptive of an industry.
And I guess it sort of partly answers the next question. What do you hope to leave our tourism groups and Maritonians with at the end of your visit?
I hope to just leave them with education and a new understanding of why people might sound different and how to include individuals with disabilities in tourism. Tourism is for everybody. You might have an individual with disabilities and an individual that's not neurodiverse, and either way, that's okay. And I really just hope to educate the tourism industries there and the tourism businesses that we are all to be accepted and how they can better serve individuals with disabilities and support them while they're traveling.
Canada Travel website says great role model. Why do you think tourism is so important to so many small communities?
I feel like it's what keeps us going. I live in Vernon, British Columbia, which is considered a smaller town, and I've seen firsthand how COVID-19, when it hit businesses that relied on tourism industry really, really hard. And I think it just goes to show how much the tourism industry keeps us going and keeps us alive, especially in the Okanagan, where, we are a huge tourism region and people come from all over the world to visit the Okanagan. So I feel like a piece of us is missing without tourism and without the people from outside of the region coming in to travel and to view and to visit. It's what keeps our economy going, and it's what keeps us afloat, and it's really what we're known for. I feel like in the summer seasons, you almost see more tourists than you do locals. So it's what keeps us going as a small community.
Yeah, and I think in some small communities, people, some people want visitors, some people don't. But
So true.
but even if you think about it, even Vancouver survives on tourism, and so it's very important, and more so important to the smaller communities, I think. But
yeah.
You've heard of the Experience Nicola Valley, Experience Merit, in this talk show, Nicola Valley Talk. Just won a 2021 National and Provincial Award for Best Marketing Program. We've noticed that you've been viewing a few of our shows and maybe even read a blog or two, so we thank you for your support. In what you have seen and read so far, what is your opinion of our little small town tourism marketing program?
I think it's amazing. It seems, I'll be honest, I've never been to Merit. I know.
Oh my goodness.
I will soon. But it seems so big just by how you guys market it and support it. It just seems so big. I know it's a small town, but the way the Experience Nicola Valley markets it and makes it just looks so big and exciting. I think you're going to get so many people coming to the Nicola Valley to experience it and to visit it, because it seems so big on the website and just so special, and it really makes me so excited to be invited there and so excited to come, because I'll be honest, I've stalked the website looking at all like the tourist attractions, and I'm like, I want a photo at every single one because everything is just so pretty. There's so much history. I'm a big history buff. I love history. So to me, it just makes me want to like hop in my car and get there now. Like, it just looks so fun and so interesting.
Well, I do know that our tourism groups and our business tourism businesses are definitely looking forward to your visit. So I think it should be lots of fun and a good time. Before we let you go, is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience that we haven't touched on?
You can watch my whole series of supporting local tourism. I will be doing some videos while I'm in Merit as well on samsewell.com. They're all listed on there. They're also listed on the A Canada website as well, where I've listed it on their community forums as well. And I know it's getting pretty popular there. They share it a lot. So I just hope you can watch some of my supporting local tourism videos, as this year has been so incredible being able to film videos with the travel restrictions easing off now. I've been able to leave Vernon a bit and go to like Kelowna and Lake Country as well, and be able to go to these different places that I wasn't before. So it's been a huge journey, so much fun, and I cannot wait to film in Merit because I have so many ideas coming, and it's just, I just hope you can visit them. I'm just so excited to come to Merit.
Colin Gerard says, very cool. So I think you have some supporters here in Merit, and hopefully we can announce when you're coming in the next day or two. And
Yes.
We've got so many exciting things happening. We've got you coming, we've got the West David Fishing Show coming, and so there's all kinds of things happening for this summer. And let's hope that they keep the travel restrictions open.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Samantha, and for joining us on Nicola Valley Talk. And we certainly do look forward to hosting you in the upcoming visit, and show you off to a lot of our tourism groups. So
I'm very excited to come.
Tanya?
Yes, I'm right here. Well, what a great show, Melva and Samantha. I can't wait to meet her. I mean, what an inspiration to young girls, and yeah, like to think that that she goes into one of the most visual and spoken industry is tourism, and to persevere and to want to get all those changes in airports is amazing. Okay. And so Melva, I will talk to you soon, I guess.
Yes.
And you are finished now, are you?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. I just like teasing her sometimes. But anyways, thank you everyone again. Thank you, Samantha Sewell, Miss World Tourism Canada, for joining us tonight and showing and giving us such insight into tourism. And I never ever realized about the many blocks that people with disabilities that can't talk or that with masks would have. And I never even thought of it. So thank you for bringing that to my attention and probably many other people. So again, please stay with us and follow us on our social media travels like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. For your next visit, experience merit.com for all your travel needs like activities, tours, guides, accommodations, restaurants, pubs, parks, and a lot more. Make sure to tune in next week, June 24th. This is very exciting when Melvina White and Tony Luck will join us with Off the Clock City Talk on Nicola Valley Talk, hosted by a new host, Tom Reynolds. And he's going to be good, I tell you. And remember, every Thursday night, join us, same time, same place at 7 p.m. Pacific time, right here on Nicola Valley Talk on Facebook Live. And I'm saying goodnight for Melvina White, since I put her in the green room there. And I am your country, or she is the country lifestyle blogger on Experience Nicola Valley, and your host on Nicola Valley Talk. And remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, and rethink, and leave no trace behind, because merit matters, as does the world. So when you're out there camping, take your stuff back with you. Sweet dreams, Nicola Valley, and thank you for your support, and stay safe, everyone. And good night.